last night, one of the 3 inductees into the Ellensburg Rodeo Hall of Fame, September 4th, 2009. Charles, would you give us your full name, date of birth, and hometown?
Let me introduce myself to you. Hi, I'm Charles Sampson.
Right on.
Los Angeles, California. Born and raised.
Born and raised. How old are you?
Oh, how old am I? I never tell my age. I was born in 1957.
Okay.
Don't add that up.
Okay.
This is 2000.
That's enough math for it. Enough math for it. So you're born and raised in Los Angeles.
Yes.
What? Tell us a little bit about your family and were they rodeo people? Weren't?
No, my mom was from Louisiana. My dad's from Arkansas, and they met in California. And my mom had 5 previous kids from her first family, first husband.
Okay.
And my dad and my mom had 8 kids. And all together, I'm the 11th child out of 13.
And were you all raised in the same home?
Well, no, they were older than us.
Okay.
So my mom had two of the younger kids with my siblings. So we was all raised and we basically brought up in Watts. And we left Watts just before the wash ride in '65 and just moved a little further south in South Central Los Angeles.
Now, there's a lot been said about a city kid that turned cowboy. How did that happen?
Well, I thought, all the great cowboys come from the city.
Come from town.
Dick Griffin, Harry Tompkins from New Jersey.
There you go.
Dick Griffin from Bellflower. So, there's some city kids turn out to be pretty good cowboys. But for me, growing up in LA, I never knew anything about the rodeo life. I never knew anything about horses or cows, nip, even though as I got involved with the horses, Los Angeles vicinity, man, it's just full of horse stables and dairy farms back in the the early teens and the early creation of LA.
Sure.
It was all rodeo, not rodeo, but agriculture related. And for me to get involved the way I did, obviously, it's a storybook story, because I was just a kid that was involved in activity. My mom had me involved in church activity, park activity. I was involved in Cub Scout, and I think I was like 11 years old, and we went on a Cub Scout field trip to a little broken down carnival per se.
Okay.
It had a big tent, and inside the tent there was exotic animals, monkeys, bears, snakes, guinea pigs. The man had a skeleton in a coffin. They would open up and scare the kids.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So to go on that trip and take that little tour, but outside the tent there was ponies and horses, and the ponies were set up to where they just go around, in a little circle. Hooked up a little hitch, so you go around a little circle. So 11 years old, the kids, that was about as big as we were anyway, big enough to ride a pony.
Okay.
But it just costs a quarter. So you get a man a quarter to ride the pony and go around the ring. So that was my first introduction to.
That's when you first straddled an animal.
That's my first straddle of an animal, any type of animal.
Cub Scout trip was 11.
It was an 11-year-old boy. Yeah.
Now, how did so you went back home, and I understand you worked at a stable nearby where you lived, or how?
Yeah, well, like I said, that first Cub Scout pony ride field trip
Okay.
really got my interest, intrigued about being outdoors, being around the ponies. And fortunately enough for me, the stable was actually, half a mile from my house.
The place where the Cub Scout trip was held.
Really? Half a mile from my house. Just walk down the tracks and there was the stables.
I know.
But in the meantime, I used to swim. I used to go swimming religiously every day, because during the summer.
Okay.
I go to morning school, swimming class, 10 o'clock swimming, 12 o'clock swimming, 3 o'clock swimming, On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they had night swimming.
Now, was this recreational, or were you competing on the swim team?
Just hanging out at the park.
Okay, got it.
Just hanging out at the park. You know, just
Hot Southern California, that's what you
just
did.
hung out at the park.
Okay, okay.
Then, you know, one day, I was just, you know, I don't know, just tired. I would say tired of swimming, but I was done swimming. And I looked over there across the street and remember the ponies over there. So let me go to the ponies before the night swim.
Now, is this the same summer or a few summers
No,
later?
it's all the same time.
Okay, okay.
All the same time, all in the same vicinity. My house was on 120th, the park's on 124th, and the stable's on 131st. So all I get to keep doing is just keep going. I was gonna, you know, eventually end up at the stables.
Okay.
So I go back to the stables and I walk around. You know, wasn't a lot of people around. Just Mr. Warren, he was an older, you know, black gentleman, and he just stored his little ponies there in his tent. But there was ERHOF stables, there was Lucky stables, and like I said, Mr. Warren just had it was just a wide open field. You know, he just had a little stint. And another area was Bill Terrell. So there's
3 or 4 stables right there.
but you can rent horses there.
Got it. Okay.
You can rent a horse there and take people on a trail ride. Mr. Lucky's, you can rent a horse there, people go on a trail ride. I mean, it's amazing, you know, how many people would, on Saturday and Sunday, you'd be at Mr. Warren, just sitting there quiet, and you look across the street, and there's people just riding horses, you know, just flocks of horses, you know, in a group just going on a trail ride.
Okay.
So, you know, like I said, just riding the ponies. One day I ran out of money, and I asked Mr. Warren, what could I do to ride the pony? And he said, well, help me help me, you know, muck out the corrals.
So you ran out of quarters and you still want to ride the
Still
ponies.
wanted to ride.
Mr. Warren, how do I get this job done? And he says,
So
well,
that's how I basically, you know, got enthused about wanting to come back to the pony ride. And once I kept coming back, you know, I eventually graduated from the ponies to a horse.
okay.
There was other people there that stored their horses there privately, and they saw what I was doing. I said, can I clean out your stall? He said, yeah, but I can't let you ride my horse because I don't think you can ride very good. The horse was kind of more, you know, challenging, hard to get along. So they put me on the horse and walked me around. I mean, I thought I was gonna touch the sky. I was up so high. So
You're not a teenager yet.
no, I think I'm about 12 years old. I'm a preteen.
Yeah.
So they walked me around, you know, on a pony and on a horse, and I thought that was exciting. Larry Murray, I think that was his last name.
Was the fellow that owned the horse.
On the horses. And like I said, he kept it, so he was one of the only few guys that stored their horses at Mr. Warren.
Okay.
So I was intrigued with that, got involved with that. Then one day I was walking by ERHOF stable and I saw these guys trolling a rope, and they was roping a bale of hay.
Okay.
So that looked pretty different. You know, I sit there and watch them do that, and wonder, you know, how do you do that? And show me how to do that.
You're a curious person by nature.
Oh, well, I'm not curious by nature, but you know, when you 11, 12 years old and you see things going on that you never seen before,
Sure.
and you know, mesmerized with the cowboys and the ropes, and you know, all I remember is just the guys at the park swimming.
Okay.
But when I go here,
It's a
you
whole
know,
different
there's
deal.
dust flying, there's flies, you know, there's people with ropes, and there's big horses, there's brown horses, there's black horses, there's paint horses, and
It's a whole wide world.
It's a
that you
whole
did.
different
Way
world.
different than this one.
you know, and they're bigger than you, and you know, and everybody seemed to be getting along, having fun.
You like the people part of it too.
And the people were great, you know, they really was kind of like a big brother. You know, everybody was bigger than me and older than me, and they were, you know, willing to show me that, you know, this is how you do this. And they would show me how to twirl the rope and show me how to throw it, and you know, and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I was getting a lot of attention, you know, and so that was good, you know, and that wanted me to come back. And so one day I said, well, you know, how can I ride on a trail? Well, you got $2.50? No, you got no money.
Yeah.
Well, got some stalls need to be cleaned.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So I clean out some stalls. That went for a week, that went for another week. But when am I gonna go on the trail? Oh, clean those stalls, you'll get you on the trail. So, you know, they, I don't know what the ritual was, but I had to work my way on the trail.
Okay.
Well, now, I'm back there cleaning out the stalls. Me and a couple other kids cleaning out the stalls. And Tommy Cloud was the owner of the rent stable. So Tommy wasn't the one to want to give, you know, a person that paid money back their money. So the one lady, she was screaming out, you know, she paid the ride.
Yeah.
But once she got on the horse, then she
No
panicked. I want to ride, I want to ride. So
no refund.
no refund. So Tommy said, no, hold on. Go get that kid, go get that Pee-wee kid, clean out the corrals. So
Here's his chance.
here, you know, well, here, I'm cleaning out the corral, and one of the kids came, hey, Tommy wants you. Well, what you want? Here, I want you to get on the trail, go on the trail. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, where's my horse? No, get behind this lady, ride with her. I'm like, no, I want to ride this lady.
I don't know what I clean the stalls for.
Yeah, like, so I had to get behind this lady and ride with her. And, I mean,
You have to hold her around your waist.
well, like I said, hold her back of the saddle. And she's on Lucy. Lucy and Mom, they just really good, you know, gentle horses.
Okay.
But they were big, and they just walked. You know, they always at the end of the pack because they didn't run. They just walked and walked. And I'm riding on the trail with this lady, and every time you get to a certain area of the trail, it's like a little hill.
Okay.
And the horses knew
Have to accelerate.
they accelerate up the hill. So, you know, the so-called experienced riders, they run up to the hill. The horse just run up to the hill and stop. Well, Mountain and Lucy, they just didn't matter. They just walked. Well, you in the back of a pack of 20 horses. What do you think you're doing? You're in the back.
Yeah, you're eating the dust.
I'm eating the
That's what
dust.
you're doing, yeah.
I'm eating the dust. Now you know what I'm talking about. So I'm like, golly, come on, lady, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, no, I don't want to go. Slow this horse down. She's walking like a turtle as it is.
So your first ride, you're needing more speed.
I need
You got
more
sister
speed.
up front, slowing things down.
And she's screaming and hollering every time the horse would trot. We're walking like a turtle. So I get back like, no, I want to ride again. I don't want to ride with nobody.
Yeah, so that's the bull riding career world champion Charles Sampson has begun.
Well, I tell you, and I mean,
So you have this relationship with the people around the stables and the owners and even a customer or two, it sounds like. When did it turn into rodeo? I mean, how did that?
Well, then again, I go back, not to Mr. Warren, because Mr. Warren, you know, like I say, he's an older gentleman. I really don't know what today what happened to Mr. Warren. All I know is that area where he was at started developing with private, you know, owners, bring their horses there. Well,
Public stable kind of goes away.
And well, it basically was a public stable, but this one cowboy, he rented that area, and he was a cowboy from Oklahoma named Gene Smith. So a lot of the guys at the stables or L-Fig that were roping, you know, found out where Gene was at, and Gene was a cowboy.
He was a rodeo.
He was a rodeo cowboy, and he was down there roping in that little area that was wide open. Gene built little man-made roping boxes, bought a couple calves.
So he had a roping arena.
And he was down there training his horses for the rodeo. So now we go down there and see that he's a cowboy.
And we've gone from pony rides to trail riding behind the old lady to
now we're like, all this roping stuff they were showing me, you know, this guy, you know, they're really training. So Gene was, I mean, I really don't know. I'm sure it had to be before '72, because now I'm involved with Gene. Gene was teaching Lee and Benny and all the quote-unquote guys at L-Fig how to be cowboy. So all the guys that was working at L-Fig left L-Fig and went and hung out with Gene to become cowboys. So Tommy's like, where's everybody going? You can't
Where's my
you
guys?
go down there and be here. I need you here. Well, Gene teach us how to be a cowboy.
He doesn't pay very good, but we're getting the Cowboys.
And yeah, you didn't pay very good, but we just go on trail rides here. And so, but in the meantime, also, getting maybe ahead of the story, but Tommy did allow us to have our own, guiding horse. Eventually, I became a guide, so everybody had their own guide horse.
Okay.
So then Tommy would let us go on Wednesday night to a practice arena and rope.
And was the practice arena over Jeans? Or
No, it was in
different?
El Monte. You leave outside of LA, go 25, 30 miles, and you're in another rural area where they actually,
Train arenas, and guys were practicing.
practice jackpot. They have a practice, and they have a jackpot.
So your rodeo actually started doing some team roping, it
As
sounds
a team
like.
roper, I was a team roper first,
Okay.
and so I was a team roper first. Then, like I said, Tommy allowed us to take our guide horses. There was Tommy horses,
Yeah.
but we took our guide horses there. And so one night, the kids that worked at the arena, lived at the ranch, they take the horn protectors off the steer head
Okay.
at the end of the night. Well, they would ride the bigger steer. Steers are all different sizes. So they would ride the bigger steers.
Steer unwrapping tradition is to ride them
When you get down,
unwrap.
when you get down.
That's
So-
kids everywhere like
So
that.
they would ride the bigger steers.
Yeah.
Well, then they had a little pub there and a shoot pool, a little hamburger stand. So Tommy and them will go in there and have a little beer and visit with the ropers. And I'd go unsaddle the horses,
Sure.
put the saddles up, tie the horses up, and get ready for when it's time to go home.
Heading home.
Well, Tommy saw that, saw those kids riding those steers. Hey, where's Pee Wee at? Well, he's unsaddling the horses. Hey, I want to get him to ride one of them steers. So one of the kids came and got me and said, Tommy wanted me to ride one of them steers. I said, for what? He said, well, I don't know, I want you to ride a steer. I said, I ain't riding no
I
steer.
heard on to ride the horse.
I can ride a pony, I can ride a steer, but, I can ride a horse and a pony, but I ain't riding no steer. I'll rope them.
Yeah.
And Tommy said, no, I want you to ride one of them steers like the kids. I said, for what? Oh, you can do it. I said, I don't want to do it. So we go back and forth fussing about.
Now, were you a little nervous or scared, or was it?
I was petrified.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to ride no steer.
Big horns?
I don't want to ride no steer. I'm a city kid. What I know about a steer? So I know how to rope them. I was roper. I
Sure,
was
that's what
roper.
steers are for.
So I didn't want to get on their back.
Yeah.
And so Tommy, he persuaded me to get on the steer, and Lee and Benny, they held the steer because they were big boys. They held the steer like a bulldog position.
Okay.
Steer moving around. They finally got him stopped. They took a little rope like this, or
Lead
rope,
rope or something.
threw it on around the steer. The steer's moving around, and they're trying to hold me because I'm little, trying to put me on the steer. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm kicking and I don't want to ride. So they finally put me on the steer. They tightened the rope on my hand. You ready, Pee Wee? You ready, Pee Wee? I'm like, you all right, let him go. They let him go, whatever happened, the steer just turned off on my bam, land on my stomach. I got up, cried, I told you I don't want to ride, I told you I don't want to ride.
You were mad and a little hurt. Yeah.
Now you don't talk about them. So they said, oh, bring another one back. I said, oh, I don't want to ride, I don't want to do this, this is stupid. I don't want to ride. So they brought me another one, and Lee like, come on, Pee Wee, hold on, Pee Wee, just hold on. Don't let go, hold on to that rope. Why you hold on to a rope? You squeeze, so they was telling me what to do. This steer, he wasn't moving around as much. Well, he just ran. So I held on to him. I rode him a little way, jumped off. All right, that's enough. I'm done. I don't want to ride no
You're
more.
1 for 2. Yes.
So now we go home, back to the stables, tell all the kids, man, you should see Pee Wee get bucked off that steer. They harass me and give me a hard time.
So now your pride's involved.
So now the next week, Lee like, Tommy's gonna make you ride a steer. I said, I don't want to ride. He said, Tommy's gonna make you ride a steer. I said, why?
Did Lee know, or was he just messing with you?
No, he knew.
Okay.
They knew Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy's like, how Tommy is.
Yeah.
They ride those steers. You're gonna make you get on another one. Cause I was, I chickened out so bad.
Yeah.
I was a big fuck. So now now, Lee said, here, I'll show you how to do this. We'll just put a bale of hay out there and you just ride that bale of hay.
So he was practicing, yeah.
Well, he was getting me already,
Yeah,
like, cause he knew
okay.
that Tommy wasn't gonna allow me to
Live it down,
to not ride a steer
Yeah.
if they rode a steer.
Okay.
So now, I get there for sure, cause you know, we rope the steer. We pay $1 to rope 3 steers. They had to practice.
Yeah.
So once the practice is over with, they had a jackpot. So once they start jackpotting, us kids, we'll go, you know, work the strip and shoot.
Take the ropes off.
Take the ropes off, run the steers up, and we'll rope them, and you know, we'll bulldog them, we'll rope them, and you know, little steer, we'll jump on them and ride them so far.
Okay.
So we was getting into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now, you know, a couple weeks later, yeah, we're ready. You know, we're ready to ride a steer.
Yeah.
And bring that, you know, we knew the steers we were gonna ride.
Yeah.
And like I said, we had got into it. So now that wasn't near as challenging or frightening as the way we began.
What, you said that was early 70s, and so then, when did you enter your first rodeo?
Well, then like I said, I became a steer rider.
Okay.
We have jackpots. Then I would go work with Gene Smith. And Gene was a bulldogger.
Okay.
And at that rope arena, Gene made an agreement with we were on the rope arena to lease the rope arena on Thursday to practice bulldogging.
Okay.
So us kids would run the rope and shoot, run the steers in, and after the roping, if the steer was too big to bulldog, put him to the side.
Okay.
Yeah, put him to the
That was
side,
right.
Pee Wee and other kids gonna ride him.
Okay.
So we started practicing like that. Then on Friday nights, they had steer riding, paid $3.
Oh, okay,
And
so they
people-
had some bucket shoots and action.
Yeah, it was bucket shoot. So people paid $3, and we basically ran the steer bucking.
Okay.
And
So your little crew was helping produce this
This
steer
steer riding
Gotcha,
program.
gotcha.
so we would enter, and you know, we were kind of I don't say crooked, but yeah, crooked. we knew what steer we wanted.
Sure. Fucking out of the hat.
Yeah,
huh?
well, give me that old white steer.
That's it.
Give me that old brown steer. Okay, now Nip. Okay, Nip got
Oh,
no good
special.
steer. Nip got you know, so you know, at the beginning we start, you know, doing that. Then you pay $3, and just you know, some nights I would win if I would ride. You know, you had to ride.
Sure.
While my steer had to buck. So a couple nights, man, $3, I won $50.
Wow.
At 11 years old, so, you know, 13-year-old kid. Now I'm a teenager. 13-year-old
You are
kid.
running.
So now I'm like, wow, $3.
Yeah.
So, you know, $50, that's a lot of money in the early 70s. So I'm like, wow, this is fast money. All I had to do was ride a steer, you know, paying entry fee, ride a steer, you win the money. Well, in the summer of 72, Gene Smith and the crew, they was going to Oklahoma for some rodeos. But Gene lived in Oklahoma.
Okay.
So they had rodeos around his parents' house where he was raised at. So they had loaded up the truck and was going to Oklahoma, and they had made an arrangement with my mom that I go, and my mom said, well, what is he gonna do? Well, he's just basically gonna take care of the horses, because they had bulldogging horses and calf roping horses. So what he gonna do is take care of the horses, like I did before when they would go to rodeos. So now we get to Oklahoma, and you know, I meet Gene's family and his brothers and everybody. When we get to Oklahoma, we go to a rodeo, and at the rodeo office, there's a flyer that says open rodeo in Tishomingo. We go to Ada, and Ada was the rodeo, and on the wall, there's a flyer that
It's
says
open rodeo.
open rodeo, Tishomingo.
Okay.
And, you know, all the rodeo events, entry fee, you know, the entry fee money. And so Gene said, hey, Pee Wee, what do we pay entry fees? You enter bull riding? I don't know, but I had brought my gear
Okay.
because, you know, I thought it'd be a possibility that I
This is the summer you're 13 or
Actually, 72.
a little older?
I'm a little older. I'm probably 14, 15.
Okay.
I'm 50, probably 14, 15. I gotta think of what I was back then. I know I was still riding steers.
Okay. So they see the open rodeo and they say, People would pay your fees when you enter.
Well, yeah, I got no money. Okay, we'll pay your fees.
Okay.
So now that's how I got on my first bull. And my first bull, the bull took 2 jumps. They said that, man, Speedy, you was riding that bull good. And all of a sudden the injection button came to my mind, and I injected myself, jumped off, landed on my feet, ran to the bucking chute, and the guys looked at me like, "What you do that? What you do that for?" I said, "What you do?" I said, "What did I do?" "You jumped off. Why you jump off?" I said, "I jumped off?" "Yeah." I said, "I can't remember anything." All I remember is getting in there, taking my wrap, nodding for the gate, and the bull took 2 big old jumps, and I was gone.
They forgot to coach you up on the whistle.
They forgot to coach me on how high I was gonna go. They forgot to coach me on how much power this bull's gonna have and how quick he's gonna be. They didn't say.
So you hadn't even been on a practice bull.
I never been on a bull. I went from a 600-pound steer to a 1,600-pound bull. And the only difference is that this horn being, like a rope horn steer, he had a little nub horn, but to me they were big. His neck, and his neck was big. 600-pound steer, 1,600-pound bull. I'm still 103 pounds.
We've gone from the swimming pool to steers to bulls. Let's flash forward to the Ellensburg Rodeo. What do you remember about your first trip to Ellensburg?
Ellensburg, I'll never forget my first trip here. Obviously, it's end of the year. I had been in the association for a couple of years.
Okay.
Well, even before I get to Ellensburg, I'm looking forward to coming here. But
Ellensburg Rodeo reputation precedes itself. I mean, you knew about Ellensburg, and it was something you were looking forward to.
yeah, because my family lived in Seattle.
Okay.
I've been to some rodeos in the previous years in Longview, Washington, Tacoma, Washington. Now I'm coming back up for Labor Day weekend for Ellensburg and Walla Walla and make this run to be with my family. Well, I get hurt in '79, I don't make it. I get hurt again in '80, I don't make it. Well, now '81, I make it. Well, in the Pro Rodeo Association, you enter a rodeo, you know what day you're up. Then you call back, and they tell you what stock that you draw.
Yeah, the bull riders and bronc riders, unlike the calf ropers, they draw several days before.
Yeah,
the day of.
So I already knew what bull that I was going to get on. I had number 90 Playmate of Bobby Christensen back then, Christensen Brothers. So I knew he was a good bull. I seen him buck before. I was like, wow, he's one of their better bulls.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to getting up here because it's a big rodeo. They get with beautiful buckle and all the prestige of tradition that Ellensburg offered for the cowboy. Nice town. Just Ellensburg is a big deal.
Okay.
And I was one of the top bull riders then, so I wanted to be there.
So your first trip, you had 2 tries before where you didn't get to come. You had family here waiting to see you compete.
Mm-hmm.
You drew good.
Drew good.
The stars were aligned, man.
So then I get here and I'm wondering, where's my bull at? You look behind the bucking chutes, there's all the bulls, the stock is laying there. Well, where's my bull at? So I'm wondering, hey, wait a minute, I got Playmate. He's the best bull here. He ain't around here. So I'm thinking they don't want him next to the other bull because he's a little brainless bull. His other bulls might rough him up. So you don't know what's going on. All I know is he wasn't there. Well,
so did you get a hold of Bobby and say?
Got a hold of Bobby. Where's my bull at? Well, he should be in the back. Somebody should have brought him up. Well, they didn't bring him up. Well, Bobby's in the rodeo arena and running the rodeo. Hey, Bobby, my bull's not here. Where's he at? I don't know. Walk around. Hey, there's my bull in the back.
Did they just forget him, or just,
I don't know
what they did?
Yeah, I don't know what did it, but I reminded him that my bull's in the back.
You're not gonna
He's
run
the
something
best
else
one
in,
on.
yeah.
Run nothing else in. Go get my bull.
Yeah.
He ain't crippled. Ain't nothing wrong with him. They just forgot him.
Okay.
So they ran him in, and I ride him. He's a good bull. Just spring up in the air and spin and do his thing, and I ride him, and I win the bull riding. So my first year at Ellensburg, I won it. Then the next year, I'm going for a championship in '82, and I'm sure I came here. In '83, after defending my championship. I got hurt in '83. Actually, I got hurt after Ellensburg, so I might have came here and, you know, participated again. Then '84, my family came over again, and my dad, my brothers, and other family members, they came over, and I won the bull riding and gave a buckle to my dad.
Right here
at Ellensburg.
Yeah.
So I gave a buckle to him, and me and my traveling partner went to other rodeos, and I just thank my dad for giving me a ride, you know, to the rodeos. Modern day, right? It's my brother out to me.
Tell him good morning.
I'm doing an interview. Can I call you later? Okay. All right. He showed me how to do this. Put it on vibrator.
What, how would you say rodeo's changed from the time you were riding steers and through being a world champion and now coming back and seeing some of these places that you?
Well, I know it's bigger. I mean, I always saw rodeo getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And what I admire about rodeos like Ellensburg, which just me, myself, I developed a relationship with the committee people here, the town people here, Ellensburg Rodeo.
Is that unlike other rodeos you go to?
A lot of unlike rodeos, and a lot of rodeos.
You just go enter, ride.
Just go on ride. You know, the people, not that they don't know who you are, they almost don't care who you are. But fortunately for me, I won a championship at beginning of my career. You know, after 4 years.
So you made a name.
So I made a name for myself.
Sure.
But so they kind of wanted me to be there. But in the meantime, they didn't roll out the red carpet.
Sure.
It's like, well, glad we got the world champions there. Well, they didn't actually treat us like stars. So that kind of affected me, where, even though I'm the world's champion, and your gate man didn't know me, a lot of people didn't know me, this is an annual rodeo. Well, I had to use some clout. I'm a world champion bull rider. Oh, okay, then everything became, oh, okay, you're somebody. Well, what do you mean? It's a rodeo. I'm a cowboy. I should be somebody. That's what people This is what people come to see, the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They obviously come to see the world champions, but everybody who's not a world champion that's competing. So, but Ellensburg, obviously, the year I came, I won it, and they was proud of that. Everybody was kind of me. The next year, they was happy to see me, and so the next year, I was the world champion, but everybody was happy to see me.
Yeah.
They was happy to see the Cowboys.
And then on into your career, if you might have been injured or for whatever reason weren't winning as much, they were still glad.
They're still glad to see, Charles.
Yeah.
They appreciated the Cowboys. And I remember one year I was traveling with Robbie Christie, and he's the Rookie of the Year. And they came in, hey, they knew me for whatever reason. I stood out. They knew me. Well, who's this guy, Charles? Well, this is my buddy Nip. Oh yeah, how's he doing this year? They was concerned about him. Oh, he's doing good.
And it wasn't just the gold buckle guys, it was the Cowboys.
And that's what they was showing my friends. Like, dang, Charles, they like you here. No, they like the Cowboys.
That's neat.
They like the Cowboys. It just so happened they know me, they recognize me. And they want to know, well, who's this cowboy, Charles? We don't know him like we know you.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, well, thank you for introducing us to him and let him know that, we want him back. Appreciate you guys coming. Well, and Robbie never became a world champion.
But he had a feeling when he left Ellensburg, Washington, that this is a spot I have to go back.
And I think he ended up winning. I got to check the book. I thought he won Ellensburg once, but we'll check the book. And well, he's passed since. But Ted Noose was a rookie. He became a world champion. But we didn't talk about Ellensburg. What we talked about is how the town just loved us, the community loved us, the rodeo was fun. Even though at the early stage of us coming to Ellensburg, the stock wasn't that good.
Oh, Okay.
You know, the stock for it, the bull riding.
But the enthusiasm of the community made up for that.
And the appreciation
Yeah.
of you know, the committee wanting us to be here. And you know, at least they want us to be here. Some committee we go, they don't even want us to be here.
You know what people in Ellensburg call the Ellensburg Rodeo?
What they call it?
The rodeo. Rodeo.
The rodeo?
Yeah, having grown up here and then being fortunate enough to compete in the PRCA, I got to go down to rodeos and growing up thought, well, every rodeo is the rodeo, or Ellensburg Rodeo, and boy, you find out in a hurry when you're out to these other rodeos.
No, I'm not.
It's
They're not.
different.
I trust me. I've been to a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, like I said, a lot of times, I might have didn't draw very good, but you know, Ted drew good. You know what, Ted? Instead of going to that rodeo, I'm just gonna go with you. I know I got a piece of crap. I'll just take the day money. You know, I ain't gonna win nothing, but you got a good one. I'll go and support you. I'll go have some fun. I know I ain't gonna win nothing, but I'm going to Ellensburg. It's a day off for me to have some fun.
Good for you.
And you win.
Yeah.
You know, not in that competitive, you know, stage, even though we're competing. Just like, you know, well, let's
Whereas
stop.
if it was a rodeo or community that wasn't as gracious as Ellensburg, you might have.
Anybody draw good, I ain't going there. You know,
Yeah.
that's, I ain't going to that rodeo.
That's a compliment.
So, yeah, that's, you know, those kind of things, even today, you know, remind me of, you know, how much fun I had here. Just being back, after retiring. I retired in '94, and we sent out a form saying that, you know, Charles Sampson retiring.
That's when you came back where the
Yeah,
Grand Marshal
if
was.
you want to recognize him, you know, at your rodeo, because what I did, me and my partner, you know, he said, well, Charles, you know, I said, I'm retiring. Well, Charles, we got to make this a big deal. I said, what do you mean a big deal? We got to call these rodeo committees that, and let them know you're retiring, so you have to throw you a party. I said, they don't do that. I ain't never heard no rodeo committee throwing a party for a cowboy to retire. He said, well, just we're gonna write down a letter saying that if you want to recognize Charles, you know, have him back as a guest to your rodeo, and you know, he's retired. Farewell tour. So I told my buddy, I said, man, I ain't never heard of this. He said, well, just write down some of your favorite rodeos. Just write down some of your favorite rodeos. We'll just send it out. I said, well, I wrote down, you know, some of my favorite rodeos. We got a couple bites back, and lo and behold, Ellensburg said, oh yeah, we want you
Party's
back.
on.
We want you back. You can be the Grand Marshal, you can do this, we're gonna have the red carpet, we're gonna have your Charles Sampson Day. I'm like, man, look at this response when we got back from Ellensburg. I said, I never heard of this OD. He said, Charles, all you have to do is let them know that these people know who you are.
Well, that speaks highly of you. I mean,
Well, I didn't have a clue because I never heard of a cowboy doing this, but my buddy had that vision. My buddy said, Charles, just you know, you gotta keep your name out there. You gotta keep yourself going. And I'm like, wow, I never heard of that OD. And like I said, we sent it out. You know, a lot of rodeos called me back.
Sure.
You know, Tucson called me back, one of my favorite rodeos. Flagstaff, Ellensburg. You know, we sent some to Canada, to Texas. You know, some of my favorites that I won, that I thought that if you want to go back, you know, now that you retire, then have a lot of fun. I said, oh yeah, I had a lot of fun in Ellensburg. I said, I know the committee, and you know, they always treated me nice. So, you know, when they told me to come back and be the Grand Marshal, I couldn't believe it. It was so nice of a gesture to have Ellensburg, the first ones to say, oh yeah, we definitely want you back.
Well, and here, what, 15 years later, you're
Is it
back
that
again.
long? Oh yeah.
Now, if we don't have to wait that long again.
Yes, 15 years later, I'm back. You know, it's an honor to be back and to be, you know, in the Hall of Fame. You know, after my retirement in '94, the PRCA, they chose me to be in the Hall of Fame in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, you know, I'm kind of naive on this Hall of Fame stuff. So I asked them, well, I thought, you know, you had to be older. I thought you had to,
Waiting time.
you know, waiting time. I thought there was, you know, a lot of criteria that, you know, for a person to qualify. And the lady said, well, Charles, you meet all those criteria. I said, well, what do you mean? She said, well, you're a 10-time qualifier, you're a world champion, you're an ambassador to the sport, and you know, your contribution to the sport. And she was laying down all that stuff. I'm like, oh, is that what a Hall of Fame is?
Okay.
I never thought about, you know, me doing that. I just thought that was my way of making a living, is riding bulls and going down the road.
Economics really steered you towards bull riding, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, here I can spend $3 and win 50, man. That's a pretty good living.
Hey, legally in Los Angeles.
That's it. And not cleaning stalls.
Well, I clean a lot of stalls.
Yeah.
I clean a lot of stalls, but when I say legally, you know, Los Angeles has a bad rap of, you know, kids.
You've had some partners that went the wrong way, I'm sure.
Partner and family member went the wrong way. They even, you know, I even kind of went like this. And you know, my one day in a calaboose, you know what the calaboose is?
That's a Hooscower.
Huh?
The Hooscower.
Oh man, I tell you what, you do not want to be in there. That's the loneliest place in the world. You know, you're in there telling somebody in there locking the doors on you, and you literally can't get out. I mean, I can't go see my horses. I can't go see my friends. No, you made a bad choice, and this is the consequence you gotta pay. I said, I'll never do that again.
I'm done with that.
I'm done with that, and because it was like I don't know what it's like to be, you know, totally stripped down, but it was just, trust me, I didn't like that feeling, and it didn't take very much for me to realize I don't want that to go. I don't want to go through that anymore.
Charles, closing words for thoughts about the Ellensburg Rodeo or your career?
Well, I've had a great career, Nip. I rode bulls from 74 to 94. I've been able to go because of rodeo. You know, I didn't really know who I was or what my purpose was in life. I'm from the city, Los Angeles, California. You know, you got to come from somewhere to find out who you are and what you're meant to be. And me coming from Los Angeles, I was meant to be a cowboy. I was meant to be a rodeo cowboy. I love horses. This is my life. And when I say the rodeo people are my people, you know, I'm not a baseball people, not my people. I'm a fan of baseball. Other sport people are not my people. Rodeo people, they're my, people. And I love the life that I live. I love giving back to the sport. People say I've done a lot for the sport. Those sports done a lot for me. If it wasn't for the sport of rodeo, I don't know where I would have been or what I would have became if it wasn't for that pony ride, if it wasn't for the guys at the stables and Gene Smith, you know, taking me under their wings and showing me the tricks and trades of the sport. So now today, that's my number one pet peeve is I want to grab anybody that talk to me or see me and let them know that this is the most honest, true, and giving environment I see a person to be in. If America, quote unquote, had the Western way of living, I don't think we'll be in wars. I don't think we'll be trying to, you know, harm one another. Because I've never been anywhere to where I wasn't welcome. You know, went a roundabout way. And they've been trying to do a movie on my life since I won the world championship. Here you got a black boy from Watts, California, in an all-white sport called rodeo. Man, what a great story. So I talked to these producers in LA, tell us your story. Oh, I tell them my story. I tell them how great I was treated. I tell them how, you know, I went out and tried my best, and how I rode this bull, and how I rode this bull, and won the rodeo and did good, and how I go over to a comedian man's house and he let me stay at his house and this cowboy give me a ride. You're like,
They don't get it, do they?
Charles, that's not a Hollywood story. I said, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
Charles, Hollywood's not gonna buy that. Charles, you're a black cowboy in an all-white sport. Okay, well, what you want to say? Charles, somebody had to call you bad names. They had to cheat you. They had to deny you. I said, well,
It's not the way it was.
I said, now, let me think. Oh, I went to a rodeo in Arkansas. The gate man, not the committee man, the gate man, security guy, didn't want me to, I didn't have my sticker on my window because I've been rodeoing all year long, and I didn't need another sticker on my window for one day of rodeo. He had a fit because my sticker wasn't on the rodeo, on my car, on my window. He reached in my car, I want to put my sticker on the window. And I had to fuss and fight with him, how stupid he was. Get out of here, get your hand on my car. While I go into the rodeo, I win the rodeo. So I never had conflict in the arena. Most of the conflict or stupid stuff I had was typical, you know, hard hands, thinking he got authority over me.
Yeah.
So, but other than, you know, in the arena,
That's black, white, any rodeo cowboy that's run into a grumpy gate man.
you run into a great gate man, I really get to deal with it. Just, you know, that day, this guy was, you know, he's just being stupid, and, you know, but other than
Hollywood
that,
wouldn't bite.
huh?
Hollywood wouldn't bite.
No, Hollywood, they said, Charles, that sort of story's not gonna sell.
Huh.
And
That's a shame.
I said, well, I tell you what, I'll have to get back with you because maybe somebody's gonna treat me like crap one day, and I can tell you a story what it's like to be.
Well, you stick for your story.
Well,
It's a good one.
all right, my friend.
We
Awesome,
appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you, Charles.
Awesome.
Good stuff.